Hey, everyone. Hey. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
Hey.
The
Can
final
we get
podcast.
the Game of Thrones spoilers out of the way right away?
No!
Snape kills Dumbledore.
I'm just kidding.
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast this week with Gus
Gavin.
Miles.
Birdie!
and Gus. So, two of you were at
Two of
PAX
us.
East this weekend.
So by process of elimination, because you said two of you, that means you were not. So that leaves just two of the three of us that were there.
Very good.
Spoiler, it was me and it was Gabby.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You all
I
had
didn't see Gavin the entire time.
What were you doing? Just hanging out?
Like panels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This was my time to go around. Like you guys were, it was the lads there in there, Lindsay, Monty as well. And so I spent this entire con doing like industry catch up stuff. That's what I did.
So how did you walk around?
What's that?
How did you get around without...
It was not easy. We've talked about this before. I don't actually need glasses. So if I
What?
So if I take off my glasses and I walk around without my glasses off, it does slow down the process of you mean getting stopped on the floor.
You're like a shitty
Yeah,
Superman.
I get stopped. But it is like it's also a thing too. If like people see you and you're walking with purpose, a lot of times like, oh, it looks busy, I'll just catch him later or whatever. But once you stop, then you're stopped, and then so it's like, oh hey, you say take pictures for people and all this stuff. It's really cool. I say, but I gotta get like there. So why don't we all walk like another 20 feet and I'll stop again and do that. So that's just the strategy.
My method for getting around was a 3-step process. Hood up, gold sunglasses on, pretend like I'm on the phone.
It's good.
They're actually very effective.
Yeah, people are really cool. People don't. I mean, they know they'll catch you another time or something like that. Like there were times when I was helping Ashley shoot some news segments. If I had the camera on my thing, everybody was just like, "Nope, he's working."
Having a camera can get you a lot of stuff. It can get you into places. It can also get you in trouble in places.
Pussy.
Did
Pussy.
and that too.
Some girls are really into camera dudes. It's weird.
Yeah.
yeah? No, it's are you being serious?
No, I'm deadly serious.
Yes.
I was filming a poker game once, and this girl was like, I'm really into like skinny camera dudes. It's totally my type. And I was like, all right. And she was deadly serious.
Was she a
like how I had, like-
prostitute?
No.
It's a very weird, specific fetish. It's like skinnycameradudes.com.
And she was like telling me about her ex-boyfriend. It was like a documentary guy. I was like, oh, not kidding.
That's a
She
very...
probably thinks you'll film her. I mean, that could be her. I think I might know the person that you're talking about, and she seemed like she was very into her thing she had going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her whole shizzing.
You are correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So speaking of which, to segue to that, people who are super into stuff that's really awesome. The bar for cosplay is just too fucking high at this point. Like, if I made a cosplay, I'd be the guy who's like the Iron Man made out of pizza boxes, and like just like or like the kid's Halloween costume.
Yeah.
The people, first of all, the League of Legends booth at PAX East in Boston this weekend was, Gus, I want to say it was an 80 by 80 booth.
That's
it was
huge. That's
fucking
massive.
huge. It was massive. Like when you go down the escalators, it was the whole left side, like that side over there. Took all of that space up when you're coming down the escalators. Got a cosplay contest, I want to say day 2, and the line of people in costumes wrapped all the way around that booth, then all the way down the exterior wall, and then down another wall halfway of the exterior wall of the convention hall.
Wow, just to get like your costume judged? Like just to get up there?
These were all people in costume, yeah. They were all like filing through to go through this costume contest.
And we're talking like good. Straight
Dude,
up.
they were fucking amazing, Miles. I don't know the characters. I tried to look up. There's a mermaid character. I think
Ariel, I believe.
or Sorola is the name.
King Triton.
The champion in League of Legends, which we've also discovered League of Legends champions. They'll have very unique names, like they're very searchable, but nobody knows how to pronounce them at all. What do you mean? Like, how would you pronounce Sivir? The name. How'd you pronounce it?
Sivir.
Sivir.
Severe.
Severe. Siver.
Seaver?
Yeah, Seaver, and there's like big debates over how to pronounce these things, and I'm sure that people are going to blow up at me because I'm not pronouncing it their particular way. But there's really it's hard to find a pronunciation guide for these things. But Sorola, I think I looked it up, is the mermaid champion. There was this lady who had a like from the waist up, it was like this awesome, perfect mermaid costume. But then from the waist down, she had built a fucking island with like fake like a fake fish tail, and she would like walk the island, like the whole thing, like it was almost like a hard skirt, but it looked perfect, and it looked like she was sitting on a rock, and she would get up and she'd move, and she was like, and she had like octopus tentacles as well. I don't think it's like actually that mermaid. I tried to look it up later, see what it was. There might be like a half woman, half octopus champion that's in League of Legends, but it was fucking amazing. It was
saw an
fucking amazing.
astronaut doing this on the escalator. That's pretty funny.
And there was a ton of Ruby cosplayers. I got a picture of a Yang cosplayer that I saw, and they're all. It's like the bar's too high. The bar's too high. And my girlfriend Sheena's walking around. Every day she had on a different perfect costume. She had a fucking Final Fantasy sword that was like 12 feet tall.
I saw that.
I saw that because we were all going to get a cab together to the hotel, and they wouldn't take them because that wouldn't fit in any of the cabs. They had to get a van.
Yeah, she weighs like 80 pounds. And that thing's like, I don't know how she can like, I don't know how she can hold it up, but then she as a whole unit would just tip over or something
The
like
wind
that.
would just take her.
Yeah.
Take me to the con.
But it's like that bar's way too high now. Like that's like in the last 5 years.
You could be like an amateur cosplayer. Like you don't have to be pro, right? You can just like come in.
That's when you go the
Probably.
funny route. If you can't do it serious and you can't make it look good, that's when you just always go the funny route. Like make
Like
it look bad on purpose.
Pizza box Iron Man.
Yeah,
Totally.
But embrace the pizza. Like have pepperoni.
And there
on
were
you
those
and shit
dudes.
Like that. Yeah.
Like there were the dudes like who came and they all dressed as the Mario guys. Like there was a Mario, a Luigi, a Wario, and a Waluigi. And they looked like they had like the felt costumes they had made themselves, and they were just kind of okay, but it was kind of cute. But I was like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of dickheads. Because look at the fucking lady walking around as like a moving island. There was a dude who was dressed as like an 8 foot tall character from WildStar, that new MMO that's coming out. Mm-hmm. And it's just like it was perfect. It's like his head must have been somewhere in here, but you couldn't see it, and it was just it was perfect. And it's just like I don't know. I get like when people want to get started in doing like online video stuff, we always tell them, well, just get started. Just get started. But they're like. Now I get it, because someone said, oh, just start doing cosplay. I'd be like, fuck no. I'm going to look like a fucking idiot.
Just make that.
You should tell them, be like, so, nice costume. Can you make a YouTube video? What's up?
Fuck off, bitch.
It was a good convention. PAX East I think is my favorite one of all the ones I've been to. And
PAX
that was
is
a
the
really
best
good
of
one.
all the PAXs.
Everyone was friendly. No one was a knob. It's fine.
Checklist done.
I feel like I'm talking too much at the beginning of the podcast, but I disagree with you. Because
You had a knob.
Boston, as a city, has the worst fucking service of any city that I've ever been in my life.
I mean, I wasn't
the
talking,
people
I was
are
talking
great.
about the fans. They
Yeah.
were great. The actual like surrounding service, like security and like people at the hotel,
Oh, what
waiters, awful.
was it?
Right.
So
I
bad.
want to make a quick correction. I think the mermaid character's name is Nami
Nami?
and not
Show me.
Cyril.
N-O-
Nami?
Yeah. That's it. Is that her?
I don't know.
That's
I
from
Nami cos. This was from PAX Prime 2013, so this might be
Thank you.
someone else.
Because I was looking it up on the plane trying to figure
wow.
Nami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
looks like it. That looks like it.
Someone, who was that on Twitter? Mark Gino Vincent. Thank you for the correction.
And I looked up in cosplay galleries for PAX East 2014. I was trying to find pictures of this Nami cosplay or mermaid cosplay from League of Legends. I couldn't find it. And if anybody can send me a picture of that girl in particular, that would be amazing. That'd be really cool.
It's funny you said that she nailed the upper half of the mermaid costume. I'm sitting here going like, I think that's just a chick in a bikini. Okay, well,
You gotta have shell cups. You gotta find like the right size. It's hard.
If I did it, I'd be wearing like a little mermaid bikini. That's what I'd be wearing. That would be my
fork
my
in your hair.
effort. Yeah.
So I was getting dinner with Meg on one of the nights, and we were ordering food, and the waitress came over and said, "One thing on the menu is sold out, but I won't tell you what it is because if you don't order it, then it's fine."
That's kind of
It's like a game.
Yeah.
I like that's a little cheeky.
Meg ordered. It was totally the thing that was sold out, and then instead of the waitress apologizing, she was like, "Ooh, burn." I was like, shouldn't you be apologizing instead of just being like? And she was like, "Oh, I cut so deep." I was like,
You bitch.
spits
She
on
was
your food.
really, like,
Enjoy that.
You
so-
can play the spit instead.
yeah, it was like so sarcastic, but really mean, and like she really hated us.
You fucked, aren't you?
But
I went to the hotel lobby. There's like a little bar restaurant area there, and the hostess was there. And I can tell you what she was doing because I watched her do it for about 2 minutes. She had a sheet of paper and she had the column of numbers, and she was just going through and writing other numbers next to it. No, I had enough time to figure out what the relation was between the numbers because I'm watching her do this. This is hostess, like 1, 4, 5, 7, 8. She's writing 13, 19, 21, and I'm standing there, and I finally went, hey. She goes, yeah, and I go, can we get a table? She goes, yeah, but our you can sit down, but our kitchen's not going to open for another half hour. And I said, okay, that's great because all we want is drinks. She goes, okay. I go, we just want like coffee and stuff. She goes, well, I haven't made any. I was like, okay. And then I was like, and then Ashley goes, hey, how about we go to Starbucks? And then like yanks me away. And then we went out to dinner with E from Xbox Live, who you may know from Game Time video we did with him. And he had to be, I remember specifically, he wanted to be back at the convention hall at 9 because he wanted to go to the Giant Bomb panel. We worked that out. So we got to the restaurant at 8:15, but everything was packed because there's nothing around that convention center.
Right, the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so we did find a restaurant where they could seat us in within 5 minutes, which was amazing. They even made a big deal about the fact that they weren't going to give us 3 of the same chairs. One of your chairs will be different. Is that okay? And we're like, yeah, that's totally fine. He's
No.
Like, he goes like, well, it's a big deal to us. We're like, well, it's a nice place. Nope. We sat there after they sat us. It's a thing where we sat there for 20 minutes and we're talking. We realized nobody has come up to our table. Like they just didn't assign a waiter or waitress to our table.
Were you sat in the window?
We were close to the window. Yeah. Did you come by and see us?
Totally saw you in there.
Oh, did you really?
I walked
You
by.
probably saw us doing this. Because we thought, okay, we sat down with 40 minutes before 9 o'clock. We thought maybe we can get done, get food, get out, and we get E back to his panel, go see these guys. We were at dinner for 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
It was so fucking
That's
slow.
a special kind of torture,
So
having
he
to
missed
sit
it.
down for that long.
Not only did he miss it, we weren't even done with dinner by the time the panel ended. I mean, it was like, it took for fucking ever. And every time we talked about how long it took, then it like added another half hour to it.
Hey, but
And
your
then-
chairs were the same though. I mean, so you had that going for you.
You know what the waitress did at the end of it too? What? She comes up and she's like, here you go. Oh, the gratuity's already in there. Like, it was even, it was like,
no, she fucking
fuck
didn't.
you. There's 3 of us. Who has gratuity for 3 fucking people?
The
I
best
just-
damn restaurant in Boston, that's who.
What was it, like 20%?
I don't
Man,
even, yeah, it was.
I got terrible fucking food poisoning last year at PAX East.
Did you really?
Like, some of the worst ever of my life. Like, I think it was the first night. No, it was before the first night. I had just finished setting up. So it was Thursday night. You know, everyone hadn't gotten there yet. I was there with Alan. And we were staying out at the Intercontinental. There's like a steak place right around the corner. So we're like, let's go eat a steak. So we go into the steak place. I get like some Cajun rub bullshit thing. I was like, wow, this steak's really good. Go back to my room, you know, pass out, fall asleep. I woke up at about 3 a.m. I was like, man, I've got a serious stomach ache. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Nope, can't go back to sleep. Oh God. I need to run to the toilet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. And it was like the kind of thing where it's coming out of both ends at the same time, and you don't know how to position yourself. It's like, do I sit and puke on the floor, or do I puke and shit on the floor?
Nah, you just climb in the tub and turn it on. That's what you do.
It was
Make a nice stew.
it was fucking terrible. And then afterwards, like, I laid on the floor because the tile was cool. And I was like, I'm just going to lay on the cool tile for a bit and try to get over this violence that just happened to me.
I hate that moment when you decide you agree with your brain that you are going to throw up, and at that point it's like, I might actually not make it, and it's really scary because you're gonna be like, I don't want to like disturb my body too much.
Yep.
And in the end, it's just like,
It's just so violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like such a relief. And then I felt drained. That's why I just like had to lay down. I was like, I just gotta like recover from that for a little bit.
He's had a
before I go
hardcore
back
ab
in.
workout is all it was. You just worked on your core for a few minutes and then leaked. That's what
Yeah.
that was.
I watched you leg it off a panel before in Chunder.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Was it
before.
Akon?
Yep.
2006.
Yeah, I don't travel
Fine
well.
year.
Was it 06? Man, that's forever ago.
Yeah, you got up and just kind of shimmied off in the background, and then I saw you afterwards. You're like, I threw up everywhere. It was shooting out of me.
It's been known to happen occasionally.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. So, the steak place you went, was it the high-end steak place that's right near there?
I'll name it. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Smith and Walensky.
Oh, okay. I thought you went to Morton's, but no.
No,
That's the place that poisoned you.
I do like going to Morton's, but this was at Smith and Walensky.
The reason I ask is it was you and Alan, and Gus and Alan have this thing when they go to cons together. They just try to eat at the nicest possible places.
course. Spend the
and
most
it's a
money.
thing with them. And one time, Alan was accidentally texting me while he was texting Gus.
Oh God damn it!
They were plotting out.
This wasn't me.
A month out.
It was him.
A month out, they were plotting out all the places they were going to eat at GDC, or where were you going?
We were going to Dice, and he was like, I found this great Thai place.
Oh,
it's off the
check
strip,
this one
let's sit down. And I had to
Not meetings they were going to have or
yeah,
anything.
he somehow replied to a group text with me and Burnie, and I had to send him a separate text. And I'm like, you're texting me and Burnie. Burnie's not even going to be there.
Look at this place, so expensive. Let's go.
If you could have
Wonder if I can
texted,
find it.
if you could have texted this, I bet you would.
I'm like, cut. I probably still have it here somewhere.
Probably do.
I love the rudeness of the East Coast.
What?
It's refreshing.
I think that-
because I hate friendliness.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Because I'm from England, where everyone just stares at the ground and nobody talks to you and makes eye contact and stuff.
So what's wrong with friendliness? Does it just make you uncomfortable? Do you feel like it's not genuine? What is it?
Yeah, the non-genuineness, it just irritates me. Like everyone's like, "Hey."
You hate your life and you know it. Stop.
Yeah. But I walked up to this guy because there was no water in the room. So I walked up to a guy in the lobby. I was like, "Excuse me, do you know any way in this hotel where I can buy water?" And he was just looking ahead. And he looked ahead for like 8 seconds, and I was like,
Easy.
how long do I wait before I say it again or just walk away? And he went, got a room here? And I was like, yeah, 520 or something. He's like, show me the key. I was like, and then he just walked off, and I was like, is he? And then he came back with a bottle of water. But it's just like such a weird, sort of rude approach to doing that.
What was there was
And he's in service. It's a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
There was something else like that we had like that too. I can't remember what it was. You got the text there. What was the thing where somebody was like telling us something but not telling it to us? Like they were gonna hide it like what was sold out. I'll think about it a second. Go with the text thing.
So the text thing was planning and preparation for dice, and it's a link to what to order at Lotus of Siam Thai restaurant in Las Vegas.
And I'm just getting this text. I'm not going to Dice. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's like this whole thing about like what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat at this restaurant. And I was like, cut.
And Alan texted me later, like a one-on-one text. He goes, I don't know what happened with the text.
That was weird.
It was really bizarre.
I don't even like Thai food, huh?
The way that happened. But in general, our travel was completely fucked up on this trip. Like completely fucked up. And like I only had hotels for Friday to Sunday, but I had tickets to plane tickets from Thursday to Monday. So I was like, I guess I just don't
You
have.
didn't sleep on someone's floor? Or
No, Megan Castro switched with me, and then she ended up on a 4-day trip. She had to switch hotel rooms 3 times.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to be talking about like the hail coming in this morning, but the hotels were fucked.
No, the travel was a little bit fucked.
She should have told me. I had 2 rooms. I wasn't using one.
Why'd you have 2?
Well, because Meg had a room and she didn't use it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, she was out there doing a thing called Next Level.
Yeah.
There's like a esports thing that Ubisoft is doing.
It's
Super
like a
cool.
casual competitive gaming.
Yeah,
where like
casual
anyone,
competitive.
or anyone can walk up. It's like more open. It's not just exclusive to people who are super pro and specific at one type of game.
Makes sense.
And we
she was a
actually,
coach.
Michael and I also ended up over there for one point doing a little stream with the Trials guys.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We did a couple of things, and we did a match where we sat down and played Evolve.
That was so
Oh my God, what is that like?
Evolve was awesome. So that was probably, I'd say, the biggest hit on the floor. Like big standouts were, I mean, League of Legends is always huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
WildStar was there. It was a really big booth. That was really cool. Ubisoft showed some Watch Dogs stuff, but then didn't later. Yeah, they had it the day 1, but they didn't have it day 2 and 3.
Really?
They had Watch Dogs stuff. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
How is that
I'm
game-
off base there, right? They had it day 1 and then it was gone. Yeah. But then Evolve was huge. Like the 2K booth was probably the biggest, most traffic booth, I'd say. And they had Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which they're putting out, and Evolve, which is by the guys who made Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, Turtle Rock Studios.
Turtle Rock, yeah.
I
Can't wait.
I would describe it as just an insanely intensified version of fighting the tank in Left 4 Dead.
That's a
Oh
great
my
way to
God.
put it.
It's just so tense and cool, and it's so class-based too. It's not as generic as...
Did you get to play both sides or just the humans?
No, Michael was the monster, and
Makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
He
like
did-
an extended boss battle. It's like a boss match.
I like all of the unique characteristics and attacks. I haven't played it, but based on what I've read, it seems like the unique characteristics of each class really plays well.
Like I was the medic. I had the ability to snipe and reveal weak points in the monster. I could also tranquilize it, which put an outline on it so everyone could see it, and it also slowed it down a little bit. And also I could heal.
Heal people. He checked my prostate at one point.
Yeah,
We put up a video on the know about it. Well, we couldn't show any gameplay. We had to use kind of canned footage for gameplay because they just wouldn't allow that, to shoot the screens, because these are not final builds and all that. And so I played support, and I had a shield that I could use to shield everybody else but me. So if the monster was going after somebody, I could sit there and shield them. And they were pretty much indestructible whenever I had my shield on.
Yeah.
It took a couple of seconds.
That's
to
why I
lock
was healing you the most, is because you were the only one who was unshielded.
Oh, that
So
makes sense.
I focused
So
my
when you
beams
use the
on you.
shield,
Sweet.
does it shield everyone at once, or is it one person
one
at a
person
time?
at a time. I had to target them, and I had to stay with them, and
Medic and Team Fortress 2 type thing.
yeah, kind of like that. But he's the medic, it's a kind of split up. And then I also can call in an orbital bombardment, and then I had my own gun. And then the most unique class was Lindsay. She played the trapper, and she could set these sound spikes. I don't know what exactly they did, but her big deal she did was when you found the monster, she could throw down and set up a mobile arena, which would then put an energy shield dome around us, and that would trap us in one place where we'd kill the monster.
The guy was saying that the map without that is kind of like the size of a battlefield map, just like super huge. And then you end up playing in a little dome that's just so tiny, like a really intense little map.
So
And then Raven was Assault. Assault's like a typical, battle FPS class.
So you're really fucked if your trapper gets killed because you're like, great, now the monster can be
Well,
anywhere.
anyone who gets killed, you're kind of screwed. It's kind of cool that way.
And it's got the same mechanics of like down them and then they're on the ground, you can pick them back up, or the monster can sit there and pound on them and kill them, or they bleed out while they're on the ground.
That's what I loved about Left 4 Dead is if you don't work together as a team, you're actually like completely, totally fucked if you run off on your own and try and be a hero and stuff. I finally got Titanfall for the 360 and I started playing it, and it's super fun. I can't deny that it's really, really fun, but it's like I earned a sniper after playing however many rounds or something. I don't touch the thing. I don't touch any of the shit that I unlock.
It's not really a sniping game for me.
It's
game.
not.
I don't know. I'm not very effective with it at all.
I said it's like junk food. It's just like it goes straight through you. It's delicious. It's tasty and really intense, but it has no nutritional value whatsoever. It's 12 minutes of and then you want it again, but like it's I don't know. It's really strange.
I don't even play as a Titan.
I don't like the Titans that much.
I play as a pilot all the time, and I put the Titan in auto mode and have it follow me.
My Titans get destroyed immediately.
I just do rodeo attacks.
I've decided my favorite mode is Last Titan Standing. I play
hate that.
almost
You're
exclusively
good with
now.
a Titan.
Yeah, with a Titan, I'm fucking.
Which Titan do you use? Do you use the ogre?
For Last Titan Standing, I'll typically use an ogre. Sometimes I'll use an atlas.
I always use the fast guy, the little one.
Oh, I love coming
He's
up
my
against
favorite.
those. I will blow the shit up out of
It's
you in
fucking
about
on.
2 seconds flat.
Wait, do you have it for the 1 or 360?
1.
Ah, fuck you. All right.
I'm current gen. Here, let me read this thing right now.
Oh, let me do the last Boston thing real quick. Ashley just reminded me of what it was. We were in line to the security. We had all these terrible service things in Boston, and we're going out, and the last thing was we're in the security line going to leave Boston, and we watched the guy in front of us go to the thing. He goes, here. It shows the little boarding pass to the guy, and he goes, yeah, your pre-check. And he goes, the guy says, oh, I guess I am. Is there a pre-check line here? And he goes, yeah. And the guy goes like this. He goes, it's over there. It's like there was just like enough pause. Like, is there going to be a monetary transaction here? It's like I think that's what that pause is. Is like I'm gonna give enough room to where you feel like you have to give me money. Oh my god!
Yeah, when the guy was just staring ahead and ignoring me, I didn't look at his hand to see if he was like holding his hand up for money or anything like that.
But it was the same thing. It was that pause. That's what reminded me of it. I forgot about that. It's like he wouldn't tell the guy where the pre-check line was.
That's fucked up.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Pause.
I'm gonna start doing the uncomfortable pause with people.
People are going to walk away.
If I lived in Boston, I went anywhere else in the world, I would be amazed. And like I go to a restaurant, I go like, this guy's a fucking prick. He does everything I tell him to do. You know what I mean? It's like, they must be amazed. They must think waiters everywhere else in the world are fucking pushovers.
Like, someone from Boston asks someone for water and they go away and get it, and they're just like,
Can you believe it? It's like a respect thing, a dominance thing.
Look at this fucking loser.
All right, let me read this. Want to give thanks? I love it. It's like I know that I live in the future when I can get food and things I need without having to talk to anyone.
Does the delivery man still show up and knock on the door?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
The delivery
As soon as they have Amazon Prime level drones, you're set.
I'm sure they're working on it.
You know what you should do? You should put a sign on your front door that says like Ebola inside, and like they'll push it like a stick, like you're in an African village. So put the bowl of food on your porch and just push it, and you won't see anybody.
Get one of those old school like mail drop thingies doors. I can't words.
Good.
what's
Get a pet door, but for food.
Pet door for food.
Someone
like
on
a
Twitter
pizza-shaped door.
pointing out that Miles has the new community design shirt on.
Oh yeah,
John Windy thing.
What is that?
It's we are Rooster Teeth.
It looks like it's supposed to be a 3D thing.
Yeah, it messes with your eyes.
Yeah.
That was me showing it to the viewers.
That's
Shut
I
up,
like that
internet.
I like you mess with people's eyes by making a noise.
Well, it adds to the effect. You know, it's one immersive experience.
Man, how many people came at you this last fucking week to tell you that Gavin was right about how many senses there are?
Oh God, it was nonstop.
And all they did was link some dumb fucking like YouTube show or QI or something like that. They'd say like, oh, look, Gavin was right. Here's a show with like a couple of dickheads sitting around a fucking table saying exactly what Gavin said. And I totally, listen, just because somebody does a fucking study and they determine these things, I disagree. They can publish it and I can still say I fucking disagree. There are not 40 senses or whatever. How can gravity be a sense? We talked about this in the panel. To me, it's like a sense of like
Sense of gravity, not gravity.
well, whatever, a sense of gravity or temperature.
Wait, what is a sense of gravity? As in, like gravity affects you, or
No,
like,
you feel that you have gravity.
I get a sense of balance. Like that seems like an extra sense.
But here's the thing. I think he says sense of temperature is one of them too, that you can detect temperature. That's just touch.
That's touch, right?
Yeah.
That's like a subcategory of touch.
You're not touching anything.
Here, you're touching the air, dipshit.
Your skin's touching it.
No. No.
So when it's hot outside, it's the air that's hot, and your skin touches it.
What if the air isn't hot?
Then it's cold, and your skin touches that.
And I'll say the same thing I said before, which is like to take temperature. It's not a sense because you can't lose it. Nobody gets in an accident and they can't feel temperature anymore. It's like you go to a hospital, the guy's like,
happened.
oh, he doesn't have a sense of temperature.
That would also be losing your sense of touch. If you lose your feeling in your legs, and you don't know if your legs are hot. That'd be touch.
Like,
you can lose your sense of balance.
Reisinger has no smell. He lost the sense.
No, he stinks. He just can't smell anything.
No, he lost his sense of smell, or never had it.
You're
never
saying that the air is touching your
John.
skin,
Yes.
and that makes you feel cold.
Yes.
What if you're in space and there's no air? Can you feel cold?
It's the abs.
you also have an internal temperature too. Just like you can see parts of your body, you can also feel parts of your body.
I can't feel the temperature of my heart right now.
But you can feel when you get a fever, you can feel that.
You feel that you're hotter?
Maybe I found somebody who doesn't have a sense of temperature. Here we go.
You're like,
right
John.
I've never had a fever.
But I never
You've
met a
never
guy
had a
who's
fever.
No, I've never. No, I don't.
What the?
You've met a blind guy, right? You now know a guy who doesn't have a sense of smell.
Yeah.
You've met deaf people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Have you ever met somebody who can't feel temperature?
Have you ever met someone who can't stand up because they don't have any balance?
No, ever. Somebody who's lost their sense of balance, like other than that, they're totally physically fine, but they don't have a sense of balance and it's gone. And so what do they do? What do they do? They
They're in a
go on one of those
wheelchair.
mechanics dollies and just roll them around. What is that?
Isn't there something like if your inner ear gets fucked up, you lose you can't balance very well?
Now, I think this is what I think we're getting at. I think whoever did this fucking study or whatever, I think they blurred the line between a sense and an ability. Because somebody has an extraordinary ability of good balance, and you can have a poor balance, but that's not a sense. That's not
now
a
arguing
sense.
All right, shut your eyes.
Go ahead.
Touch your knee.
Okay, that's the other thing too.
He didn't do it.
Okay, no. So
He's
that's the other
avoiding
thing,
it,
too.
Gavin.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing too. That's what I was thinking about when we were talking about this last week. Is that if it was an independent sense, how does sight help my balance? Because it does. If I shut my eyes, it's harder to balance if something's moving than if I can actually see visual cues. It's easier.
All your senses work together.
Oh, you're telling me sight helps me with my hearing or my smell? If I can see something, I can smell it stronger?
No. Seeing something makes the smell connect to the memory of that thing quicker.
I can
If you're
identify
blind and
it, but
smelling
it doesn't
stuff-
smell stronger because I can see it.
No, but you use both to get to the same conclusion, to get to the conclusion faster.
Right, but they don't augment each other. They work independently.
There's a difference between, I get what you're saying, Gavin, I get what you're saying, but I think there's a difference between your sense of smell and your recognition of a smell. Those are two different things. Like, if I smelled something super, like a durian fruit, I never smelled it before.
A what fruit?
A durian. Is that what it's called?
That sounds like an alien.
What's it called?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
It's called durian. Why are you laughing at
I've
him?
never
He
heard
never,
of
he
fruit.
never heard of it before.
It's funny.
So, like, if you smell a durian and you're like, this thing smells like shit, it smells terrible because it's a horrible smelling fruit, but you've never smelled a durian before, you wouldn't recognize that it's a durian, but you'd still be smelling it at the same level because your sense of smell is independent of everything else.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if you saw it, you wouldn't go, oh, this smells way worse because I can see it.
I have
It's right
no
there.
idea how this means gravity, sense of gravity isn't a
I think
sense.
senses, like when they identified the 5 senses in a person, these are 5 independent things.
If you were in free fall
Go ahead.
with no other senses, you would know. You don't hear or see.
Sorry, I'm just
or
imagining
smell.
a deaf, blind mute
that's exactly
falling
it.
from a
That's it.
plane.
But
That's
you're in the
not
vomit
funny.
comet, you would know.
What I'm saying is that I believe that you can feel gravity. I believe that you can. But I think that's a sense of touch overall that you
But
feel.
you're not touching anything.
You feel the weight of gravity on you. You are. It's the force of the earth on you. That's what you're feeling. Like if I take your shoulders and I push them down, is that a sense of shoulders? I mean, is that like what I'm saying? It's not, but it's because it's the same thing. It's just there's a physical thing me doing it, or is that your sense of touch? You know what I'm saying? If I grab your shoulders, I push you down, what is that sense? It doesn't become a sense.
Gavin's like, you've answered your own question. It's shoulders.
The sense of shoulder pressure. Duh.
Sense of pressure is one.
Okay, so the pressure is one. To me, that's just touch as well, because that's pressure pushing on your body.
Yeah.
And it's like pushing here. Once again, if I put you in...
So you said the inside of your ear is touch.
Inside of my
What?
ear is touch.
Are
That's
you talking about
hearing.
the balance thing again? What are you talking about? What is
Well,
that?
like you can feel pressure in your ears first. It's where you feel pressure.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have a sense of touch in your ears? Do you just associate touch with your fingertips?
No, I'm. You got another sponsor read or anything?
All right. But my point I was trying to make is that people will always cite things on like on the internet of like, look, he's absolutely right.
That's a sense.
I just don't
One-
agree.
one for
I
five.
simply don't agree, and I don't think it makes you right or makes me wrong or me right and you wrong. Although it probably does. But I just don't agree with those people who say that. I think there's 5 senses.
Do you agree with the shape of the Earth?
Yeah.
Why?
Because a shape is a geometric, it's a mathematical fact.
Why are you asking that? Do you not agree with the shape of the Earth?
No, I do, but it's the same. Like, why
a
are you...
sphere is not an abstract concept. A sense is something that's made up.
Everything's made up. Like, it's all the brain anyway.
It's all the brain anyway. It's all the brain. Man, I'm gonna go for a college degree and I'm gonna day one. I'm shop. It's all the brain. I'm gonna go. Fuck. Well,
I think you just became Carl Pilkington. I think that's the most Carl Pilkington thing you've ever said in your life.
I don't remember. We probably have talked about this in the podcast. We talked about everything, but I learned that based on its size, that the Earth is smoother than a cue ball on a pool table. That if you shrunk the Earth down to the size of a pool ball, that it would have less variation in surface than the average billiard ball. Essentially,
it'd be dense.
What's that?
It'd be dense.
Yes, it would be dense. Totally different discussion.
You think you could only live on God's pool table? Any other pool table, it would crush it.
It would have a serious sense of pressure going on.
I love you, Gavin. Did you hear about that that girl from the Netherlands who over the weekend tweeted threats to American Airlines?
I was fucking with American Airlines today on Twitter, just like fucking around with them, and I heard about that afterwards, and I got worried about it.
She got fucking arrested today.
What was her threat?
She got arrested.
Yeah.
Well, so's all right, dummy.
She tweeted at American Airlines something like, my name is Ibrahim. I'm from Afghanistan. I'm in Al-Qaeda. We're going to give you a big surprise on June 1st. Bye.
Oh, fucking
Hashtag bomb.
They replied with a scary message.
Yeah, they replied something like, we take all threats very seriously. We've reported you this message and your IP address to the FBI. She tweeted that on Sunday, and then on Monday got fucking arrested.
She did a bunch of tweets after that saying how sorry she was. No. And the last tweet was, I blocked the FBI just to be sure.
No, like she's obviously a little kid, right? Yeah. Not fully understanding what she's doing, but she
again, somebody fucking up in a way that a lot of people have fucked up before, but she's going to get held to this like global standard now where she's the example by which we hold everyone.
So she was saying things like, I'm really scared. I don't know what to do. And then stuff like, oh my God, I just gained 3,000 followers from this. Awesome. And then it's like, she was like alternating between like hating it and reveling in it.
So she actually got arrested.
Yeah, she was like, oh, if my parents find out, I'm going to be in so much trouble.
American Airlines like, give us a follow Friday.
So do American Airlines have the IP?
Go back to the tweet.
I doubt they have the IP.
Hello, my name's Ibrahim, but the actual user account is Queen Demetrius
with the name Sarah.
With the name Sarah. Shouldn't even think to change that.
Yeah, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Everybody's done something dumb like that, though. She's 14. She's 14.
That's so stupid.
It's so stupid, but she's 14. You're supposed to do dumb shit when you're 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
to an extent.
Did you ever have a friend who called 999 at one point and hang up and didn't know they traced the call?
No.
My friend's little sister did that. She called 911. She's like, we're getting robbed, haha, and then hung up, and the fucking cops show up at her house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Do you have to pay for that if the cops show up?
I don't know how that worked out exactly. It was,
just a kid.
It was like, don't fuck around, kid. But kids probably scared shitless. The cops show up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kids don't understand consequences. I mean, I was smarter than that at 14. I would know that, but really.
If I was on the internet at 14, it'd just be porn all day long.
Yeah.
Fucking Twitter. I would not have used Twitter at all as a 14-year-old.
Why?
Porn.
You're doing porn 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. If I'm on the computer at 14, yeah. Teenage boys are fucking disgusting. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Amen.
Yeah. Listen, you ever go through it like just out of curiosity, see like, man, this is somebody I know follows 900 people. It's like, who the hell do they follow? It's a weird thing that you can see on Twitter. You can actually go through and see who other people follow. Mm-hmm. And also you can also see in what order they followed people.
Yeah.
Which is its own interesting
And that was
commentary.
the thing that we had on our site for ages, and we've always kept that secret. Like, you can't see who watches who on our site.
You can't see who you're watching, which is what we call following, essentially, yeah.
Well, you can see who you're watching.
You can see who you're watching.
You can't see
who's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we added a view log where we just made it easy to find the public information. Like, Gavino made a post in the Slow-Mo forum, you know?
Or commented on this.
Like public stuff that you could find anyway. We just made a place where you could find it all. Remember how people got upset when we made that
available?
People
lost their shit over that.
They said it was going to encourage e-stalking, is what they called it at the time.
Even though you could just search it anyway.
Right. We did it with all the public stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm always surprised when people I know, the number of people who follow porn stars on Twitter and Vine. It's just like, and it's funny because it's like, oh, their friend from work, oh, the friend from the bar, guys we know at different companies. 18 porn stars in a row.
Yeah.
and then it's like random people.
The old who else you should follow thing, very useful for that.
Yeah, it really is. Once you find one of them and you click. Yeah.
Look at that thumbnail pic. Okay, all right.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested in these products and services.
So what will happen to Ibrahim?
I don't know.
Amsterdam.
Sarah Braham.
I mean, she got arrested, so I'd probably just
Yeah, but she got arrested in the Netherlands. That's not. I'm gonna get another beer.
They're probably gonna limit her to like 3 joints a day, and maybe only hash on the weekend.
It's hard when you're a teenager.
Yeah, I got big Burnie dick right in
to
Glenn's. So speaking of dicks, you were telling a story right before we started the podcast.
Fuck yeah, I was. I had to go to the doctor today, and I had to do a urine test while I was there.
Pregnant?
And well, we'll see. No. I had to do a urine test while I was there. I've never been in a position where I had to do a urine test and I didn't have to pee. And I've never felt more pressured by a little old lady before in my entire life. And on top of that, because I did it right before work, and I was like, okay, cool. Talk to the doc, everything's good. She's like, oh, by the way, do this drug test thing. I was like, oh yeah, cool. It'll just take 2 seconds. You're gonna have to pee in this cup. I went before I got here, but okay, sure, I'll give it a shot. And then to add on to it, she goes, and you're gonna need to do it all the way up to here. And I'm like, do I need to, or is it encouraged that I do?
I hate the feeling of peeing when you don't need to pee.
It's not pleasant. I didn't think I was going to be doing it, but I believed and I willed it out.
Did you refocus all of the sweat in your body down to your dick?
Just concentrate, hold my hands up, spirit bomb style. I went above and beyond too. I went above the line. Thank you very much. So,
nice.
So you had
I'm an overachiever.
You had some in your bladder. You just didn't really.
I just had to go searching for it deep inside somehow. I use my inner sense of touch.
It's all the brain.
It's all the brain, anyways. I didn't have to pee. I just brained, and then I could. So
get a sense of pressure.
Yeah.
So does pee go old?
Yes, it does. I've got a story about this, actually.
Because I was thinking, he could have just used, piss in a cup
I could just
when he
keep
was
it around.
7 or something and just given it.
I think
just put it in the microwave so it feels
when you do testing like that, they try to make sure that you don't bring in outside piss. But one year I was taking chemistry in high school.
Third-party piss.
I think I was in 10th or 11th grade, and as for our chemistry class, we did basic rudimentary urinalysis on ourselves. And so we had to bring in urine samples, and we boiled it or whatever.
Dude, if they did that today, they would shut down the fucking school.
They did that when I was in school.
You brought in your own piss?
Yeah.
It wasn't in my class, but they did a urine test in the upper level
What did you
science.
test for?
I don't remember. It was fucking
I'm
million
sorry.
years ago.
Pigs
So
and
the
shit.
problem with the test, though, is we did it the week before spring break. So we finished all the tests and everything, and I was like, cool. I put my leftover piss in my drawer with my supplies and locked it, and then went on spring break. And then I was out of school for the whole week. Came back that next Monday after the break. Opened up my drawer, and it was the most foul cup of old piss I've ever seen.
Compared to the other cups
I've ever seen out of all the cups of old piss.
And I have seen some cups, good sir.
It had shit growing in it.
Oh.
It was absolutely
whole new
disgusting.
world.
And so I went to go throw it out, and I opened it.
Why?
Why'd you do that?
Because I was going to just dump it out in the sink.
In the sink?
I should not have opened it. Instantly, people started running out of the classroom. Fucking vile.
It was in your classroom?
It was.
God, I hate these stories when you guys tell them.
It's my favorite.
It had shit floating in it. It was absolutely disgusting. And so long story short, if you're going on spring break, throw your piss away.
Remember, kids, can't have stale piss lying about. Not gonna have any of that, right, Bernie?
It reminds me of a story that's making me sick thinking about it.
Go on.
Which is, I wrote a journal about this on the Rooster Teeth site. I got really excited. You guys did not watch. You guys ever watch the Romero zombie films?
Yeah,
Dawn of the Dead. Did you ever watch Day of the Dead?
The second one.
I think.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I lived in no.
Wait, is that the one after Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah,
After
Night of the Living Dead.
It's just the third one.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, it's a third one, but then they made ones way, way later,
Is that the military
City
base
of the
one?
Dead.
Where his
Yeah.
head gets pulled off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talk about that scene in a second. That's what I was getting towards. Is that scene. But it's really gross to begin with. But in Walking Dead, the TV show that's on AMC, they just recently did the most amazing thing because they put a cameo in Walking Dead. They put a cameo zombie, a celebrity zombie in. They put Bub the zombie from Day of the Dead.
The smart zombie.
The smart zombie. They put him in. He was in one of the crowds of zombies.
The actual actor.
I don't think it was the actual actor, but they put the collar on his neck and everything. They dressed him in the same clothes and everything. And it's like, he was on screen for like 2 seconds. I was like, that was Bub. I was like, and I totally caught it. It's really weird. They did a reference that obscure and I caught it. And anyway, I made a journal about that. But your story is what I was thinking of when you started telling that was in the behind the scenes of Day of the Dead. They talked about how they had to do the scene. This is going to get pretty gross here. Where the zombies get in, they like pull this one dude apart. They pull out his guts.
Nice.
And the way
I'm so excited.
The way that they tried to fake that was they tried to come up with like they tried to make it like Tom Savini was like the visual effects guy back then with Romero. I don't know if he worked on Day of the Dead, but he was one of the famous ones that worked on it. They couldn't fake it very well, so they actually went out and found a place that would sell them, a butcher that would sell them pig entrails, like actual intestines. Uh-huh. So they would do that, but there was some kind of thing where they did that, and there was they kept it in this refrigerator, and then they moved to a different set for like 4 or 5 days.
Oh God!
And then they came back, but they realized when they left the set, somebody just to save money cut the power. So the bucket of pig entrails sat in a fridge that then powered down and cooled down and like turned into a hot box.
I feel sorry for whoever opened that.
And they opened it and said it was the most disgusting thing ever, but because they were so low on money, they couldn't throw them away. They had to use him in the scene, and the extras are like,
So it's a bunch of zombies going.
They would go like, they'd be like, rah, 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 rah. So you would cut, and they go, they actually had footage of them.
Director's like, keep rolling.
So they were so low on money, but they could still spend it to keep the cameras rolling and get footage of them reacting.
Yeah, I guess they were that tight. Like, I think it was to go get them. They were going to have to burn a day or two, which is a lot of money on a movie set. And they literally made the discovery when they needed the pig entrails. Oh, God. And they were just like, all the zombies were like,
the moaning's really loud in there.
Oh, it's so gross. So gross.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I think it's on the behind the scenes for Day of the Dead.
So that's got to be like the worst casting call ever to be an extra in a movie, right? It's like, you're going to be a zombie. You need to play with rotten pig guts.
Oh. Well, and apparently those, might have been the same one, but those anytime you get like a mass amount of people and you got to put prosthetic makeup on them and a lot of makeup, just turns into like a mass production line. You know what I mean? Where you're just like moving people through and, like what do they call it? Mass assembly?
Like an assembly line.
Assembly line. Yeah, you're doing that stuff and you put it on. But then at the end of the day, after 8 hours, they were pulling these things off and like the glue they used to make sure they looked good all day. Right. That like people were passing out from the pain of like pulling off the appliances at the end of the day.
Holy shit.
It was like a regular thing that people would pass out doing it.
They just put pig guts next to the unconscious ones.
Yeah, wake you up
right back up.
I really love the Romero zombie stuff.
It's good.
Well, you love slow zombies.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I do too. It's the best form.
Do you watch Walking Dead?
No.
Okay.
Is that slow zombies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, the graphic novel was basically just like...
Have you played the Walking Dead games?
Yeah, I've played up to season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, you say no, slow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Don't know if the show's any different.
True.
That's true.
Fair play.
I didn't realize it in the game. Sorry, I was just mid-swig there. I didn't realize in the game that it's not just zombie-infected people that turn to zombies.
What do you mean?
Like, if you die, you just turn into a zombie.
In what?
Really?
In The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
That's pretty much the way it is.
No,
that's pretty much the way it is in every zombie film.
No. If you die of natural causes in a zombie world, you don't turn into a zombie.
It all depends.
I've seen
on which
some
universe.
zombie scenarios do that, where it's like a virus or a bacteria that infects.
In Walking Dead, the TV show, if you die, you're a zombie.
I don't watch the TV show.
In The Walking Dead, this is a little bit of a very high level for the world spoiler.
There you go.
That they discovered in season 1 or like graphic novel book 1, is that everyone is infected. Right. And just like getting bit by a zombie kills you, but if you die, you turn.
You have to kill a dead person.
Yeah. You have to shoot him in the head or whatever, wait for him to turn and do it. But the thing is like, you don't really know that that's the case because all of the dead rose up in every zombie apocalypse. All the dead rose up. So that something must have triggered them to turn into zombies.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah. Wait, how does the zombie apocalypse start if the dead don't just naturally
It all depends on if you're talking about like if it's a virus contagion or if it's when there's no more room in hell.
If not every zombie rises up.
Sarcastic.
If it's like a
no, that's my favorite version of it.
If it's like a 28 days later style thing where it's a virus, it starts with like a patient 0 and that person spreads it.
And
the fact that you brought in 28 days later into a zombie discussion is going to get you a fucking
I know it's the rage virus. It's the whole
they're
other
still
thing.
living, right?
Just go ahead and say Left 4 Dead's a zombie game too while you're at it.
Yeah. Hey. I like zombies like anyone else. We're all friends here.
In the Romero ones, if you just die of starvation or whatever, you stay dead.
Here's the problem. Probably, maybe, but
in the movies it's that way.
But no, see, when you watch zombie movies, nobody dies of a heart attack. I mean, it'd be a shitty like, oh, just so happens this guy died of a heart attack in a Day of the Dead movie. They all get bit by zombies. I mean, that's part of the movie. I mean, it's like, that's the threat of the world. I've never seen a zombie movie where somebody died of old age or natural causes.
I always thought that for the virus to spread, they have to...
In Walking Dead Season 1, isn't there a character who has a heart attack? In the video game.
But Walking Dead there is, and there's a starved character too that's a really crazy moment in the video game. But in Walking Dead, they explicitly say that, it's if you die, you have the virus in you.
Right.
Yeah, even if you die of natural causes. So it's really great if like a survivor shoots another survivor.
But in other things, like in Shaun of the Dead, if you're dead and you get bitten by zombies, you don't reanimate because your blood stopped moving, so it can't pass the virus around the body.
What was the moment in Shaun of the Dead where they revealed that fact?
Yeah, I don't remember that Shaun of the Dead either.
Yeah, why would you say that? I really like Shaun of the Dead, but nobody in Shaun of the Dead died of natural causes. They get bit and then they come back.
Yeah. No, some people are dead.
So their sense of death was great.
So what was the moment? What did you see? Maybe you saw an interview with Simon Pegg where he said that.
Maybe, or a commentary. There's like 4 different audio
commentaries. When you ask Gavin a follow-up question, you always get this look.
Here's what happens with my brain. I like find a path to information, and then my brain severs the path, but it keeps the information. So it's just like useless little blobs of disconnected information.
So your sense of mental direction is off.
Here, I'm going to read this other thing.
Read the other thing.
I want to remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by... What?
Okay.
I was going to say, that Heartbleed security bug has been in the news a lot lately.
What?
Explain it for those who don't.
Okay, so when let's say you go and you're looking at a website and you want to make sure it's secure, you see like the little lock and shit, right? Sure. It's like, this website is secure. Well, that information is transmitted securely using a protocol called SSL. It's like secure sockets layers. Mm-hmm. So it's like no one can see what information you're sending. One of the popular ways to create SSL sessions is with a piece of software called OpenSSL. This isn't anything you run on your computer, probably. It's like the servers that you log into run this. Well, there's been a bug in OpenSSL for like 2 years that allows a third party to intercept the data that's supposedly secure and steal information. And that bug is called Heartbleed. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of rumors about it. Rooster Teeth, luckily, we're fine. I think the day after the Heartbleed bug was announced, we were already patched against it. Like before it even hit the news, we were already secure. We had some middling internal server stuff to clean up that took a little longer, but it's fine. We're protected against it. But people are curious now. They said, this bug's been out in the wild for 2 years. Some people are saying, did the NSA know about it, and have they been exploiting it in order to steal people's information since they could eavesdrop on supposedly secure conversations? Right. The thing about OpenSSL is it's an open piece of software. It's like an open source thing where people can contribute to it. What I wonder is, did the NSA code in the bug themselves, not tell anyone, and then just let it sit there so they could then exploit it and get everyone's information?
Why do they even need to do that, though?
Why do they need to listen to all of our phone calls and steal all my fucking texts?
That's how they get off.
I think they're doing. I think, we talked about this with the plane thing. I think they just archive all that stuff in case they need it. I mean, I think it's a political advantage where if they just archive everything and they can archive it, then if Gavin gets to be a prominent political figure,
God help us all,
they can just go through and search on his stuff. That's what I think. I don't think they're actually looking at any of that stuff. I don't think they're processing it in any way. I think they're just archiving it all in case they need to.
It's just too much data to look at once.
So if you could pay $1,000 for your history just to be wiped from all those,
$1,000?
Yeah,
done.
You would do it?
Well, there's the what's the Nixon Act, the
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information Act. You can actually, you're supposed to be able to write and find out everything they have on you.
I think they.
Isn't that after 25 years though?
There's.
I think that's public record.
Oh.
Like that's for like their activities. but you're supposed to be able to see what they have on you.
I think so, and I want to say I think they denied Angela Merkel access to look at her own file.
Yeah,
who was the Prime Minister of Germany.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah, she filed on the Freedom of Information Act. Yeah,
they would not disclose the information they had on her. That's fucked up. Yeah, this is like a world leader who's supposedly one of our biggest allies, who's like who is the biggest financial power. In Europe.
Where can you go on this planet?
People in Twitter are equating the NSA to people on Steam. Just like, I'll get this in case I need it.
It's like you never know. Is a Steam sale. Oh, I can get Burnie Burns for $3.99. Yeah, I'll probably never look at it for sure. You never know. I may get bored one Sunday.
But it's one of those things. Like if somebody does rise, like just like for instance, Obama's birth certificate became such a big fucking deal, big deal. And imagine if they had an archive of like all of his personal conversations in college. Jesus, I would not want that. Your age, you have probably half your life is probably fucking archived at this point.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I don't care either.
If they're not doing it, the best thing is you're doing it yourself. Like you're putting all that stuff out there. Everyone is,
Mm-hmm. I heard on when I went to pick up the pizza earlier, I was listening to NPR, and they said that in order to better target people for audits, the IRS is now scraping information off of social media, like Facebook and Twitter.
Well, like people bragging about money.
Bragging about trips and stuff that they've bought. It's like, if you are reporting low income, how is it that you were able to take this trip or buy this car or do these things?
Interesting.
So now it's like they've automated processes to try to scrape all of that information and tie it to individuals' accounts so that they can develop a profile as to whether or not you're potentially a tax cheat and they need to further investigate your tax returns.
I'm imagining all those people that like Photoshop themselves into really cool places. It's like, you were hanging out with Brad Pitt in Egypt. What's up with that?
Leaning up against a car.
I like that you put together Brad Pitt and Egypt as like the ultimate extravagance.
I was like, go for a celebrity, quick! What's a place? Finish the joke.
I love Miles like with a camel. Brad Pitt, like they're right by the pyramids doing the pose photo.
Dreams coming true.
Would that include stuff behind the friend wall? Like
no, supposedly they're only doing the stuff that's publicly viewable.
I had a great link.
Unless you're friends with the IRS.
Yeah, no friends. I had a great link shop on Facebook. It said, here's a good link to help you trim down some of your friends if you've got too many. And you click it, and all it does is search your friends for people who like Nickelback. And you can just remove them.
There was a promotion I thought that was really good.
What's wrong with Nickelback, by the way?
It's just an internet thing.
It's just like a laughing stock band, isn't it?
Is it? I mean,
I like some of the stuff.
There's a lot of shitty bands. I always wonder how Nickelback just got like coined with that.
Bernie's
like, why wasn't it Metallica? Because they actually went after the internet at one point.
Metallica.
Now listen, Metallica fans. Metallica's a great band. They fucking rock harder than anybody. They did go to Congress. And
I can imagine that's the password to get into a concert. If you say that to the dude.
But no, they went to Congress. They were complaining about MP3s and all that stuff, which I think was totally legitimate to do. And I think the rest of the music industry was like, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes for them. And it didn't work out very well. But they then completely turned that ship around. Metallica could have gone down in flames because they were trying to take on piracy when nobody else was.
Right. Yeah, they tried to go up against Napster. And there were all those like satirical flash animations made about them, making fun of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but also, did you hear the strategy that, God, it was a smaller group. I want to say it was like Iron Maiden or Quiet Riot, like a band that hasn't stood the test of time quite the way Metallica has. But so they were using piracy. They would track all the torrents and they would see where they were being downloaded the most and they would play all their concerts there. And they made a fucking bundle doing that. That's a great strategy.
That's really funny.
And how do these old rockers, how do they figure that out to do that? It's brilliant.
I'm sure they've got someone on their marketing team who's like, well, let's just go there.
Yeah.
You can't download that.
Everybody like in the suburb outside of Berlin is downloading your music. Let's go hold a concert. They'd go and they'd fucking sell out.
Actually sounds like an idea that an old rocker would have though.
Yeah.
It's like not a real... It's not like a techie idea.
After you explain the internet to him for 30 minutes. Yeah. Right, what's this, love? let me look up and see who did that.
I like how old rockers are British for you.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all on Spinal Tap.
I recently went to go, speaking of music, I went to go see Nico recently to talk RVB12 stuff. And while I was
Did you say speaking of old rockers?
No, I said speaking of music.
I was like, wow.
Nico. Oh, I left.
Too soon, dude.
No, I went to go see Nico and he told me this story I loved. He used to work with this guy that was like super, super conservative, Christian, Republican, like everything super right wing. Really nice guy, though. Loved him to death. And they worked really closely in an office together or something. And Nico was working really hard all night, fucks something up, and gets incredibly mad and shouts, "Jesus Christ almighty!"
Ooh.
And immediately stops himself, and he turns around, and the dude's sitting there, and he's just staring at him with a smile, and he goes, "That's right. He is almighty." That was like the best thing I'd ever heard. Like, you've been in those situations where you fucked up real bad. You said something you absolutely shouldn't have said, and they just go along with it, and it's great. It's like, saying something, "Oh, when are you expecting?" "I'm not actually pregnant, but I do have a food baby." It's like, thank you for not fucking crucifying me.
My favorite story in that regard was when Jack told the story about the worst first day job story ever. When he got a job at a radio station and he dumped a glass of water into an $85,000 mixing board.
I thought it was Coke.
It was a cup of coffee.
It was coffee.
Yeah.
It was something sticky.
Yeah.
God.
First day.
The
microphones.
That's why he doesn't drink coffee now.
Scarred him for
Yeah,
life.
he's just like, that's it.
Yeah, flashbacks
Coffee,
to that.
you and me are done professionally.
So, Burnie, someone on Twitter, IDK Blue, was saying it was Iron Maiden.
It is Iron Maiden. I got it right the first time. So yeah, it was, and they're from the UK. Famous heavy metal band from the United Kingdom using online metrics to identify fans that download its music, but the group isn't taking the data to file a lawsuit against those fans. Instead, it's using the information to perform concerts for them.
All right, love.
I don't know. What's this now?
Well, they download
Follow us on
music.
Twitter, right?
Hey, did you guys hear about the flap about James Franco and the Instagram user?
Yeah.
No, wait, what?
Yeah, he was trying to shag like a 17-year-old English kid or something.
Right. She was in New York for her 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And like her early 18th birthday. And they took a photo together and he said, this is all from memory here, totally paraphrasing. But he said, "Tag me on Instagram." She did, and then he started a conversation with her because she tagged him.
Yeah, like direct message.
And then, of course, she posted all of that stuff.
Of course.
So,
Way to ruin it for every other girl. 17-year-old bitch.
Hey, 18.
It's like, how many other girls could have hooked up with James Franco, but now he's going to be gun shy because she fucking spilled the beans.
he totally will.
You're unhappy because she didn't break the law.
No, it's not against. Well, first of all, listen, nobody's going to argue it's not weirdly creepy. 35 to 17 is a big gap, but it wasn't illegal.
Yep.
It wasn't even illegal by UK standards, was it?
I thought you have to be 18, don't you, in
No.
New York?
I don't know.
I don't know. We're not those guys that know this.
It's 16 in the UK.
I think they were very clear to say he didn't break any laws.
Right.
But he just
I feel sorry for him. How does he know?
Yeah. It was.
He's a celebrity. He wants
Yeah,
to
and
get
you're right.
some.
He doesn't necessarily know
No,
how
he-
old she is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had no idea.
And
probably.
he's like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" She goes, "Not while you're around." So that's like, all right,
Yeah.
we're on a pathway here. Things are going okay. And then it's like, I guess the fourth or fifth tweet he got to read in the New York Post.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden she stopped replying.
And then she was kind of mean about it. Like, I just rejected James Franco. Like, people
Yeah.
were like,
That's bitch.
Yeah, that's what happened. He showed up on
Really
SNL.
sour guys over here. What a bitch.
He showed up on SNL, like even making fun of it. Like he did a walk-on when Seth
really?
Rogen hosted on Saturday.
Yeah.
I like
did
when
he?
people do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You gotta make fun of yourself.
That's just like, I mean, what can you do? I mean, that's one of the major pitfalls of social media is that anything can be copied and pasted anywhere else.
Like, there have been people that, like, girls that accidentally tweet nude photos, like celebrities, like, "Oh no, my account was hacked." And then there's the other
Accidentally.
celebrities that are like, "Fucking oops." Like, they just own up to it. Like, well, those were my tits. I appreciate that.
Who did that? I think Kat Dennings did that. She was like, "Well, I just posted myself naked." Who was it that did that? That
Yeah,
was
I don't remember.
That
I don't
was her
remember.
response. And James Franco's response was, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't have flirted over social media. I should know better than that." I mean, he totally owned up to it and everything. I'm sure if it had been an actual illegal thing, then he might have been a little more careful about it. But at least he owned it.
Yeah.
So I guess it didn't work out with Daenerys Targaryen.
What does that mean?
Weren't they doing it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, all right. I hope someone would know more about it than I did. I didn't know anything
You're
about
the one, you knew the most. You knew the most, apparently.
it. Is that a thing? Anyone else in the room? Anyone?
Nobody.
No.
All right. Never
Nobody's
mind.
on his phone.
Room full of
Yeah.
people. Nobody knows. I keep forgetting to bring it up. We should mention those tumblers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go for it.
So
There's
we
some
have
tumblers.
some new tumblers. This is a Ruby one, a Rooster Teeth, and Achievement Hunter. You can put your drinks in them and drink them. Here, give me one of those.
Which one do you want?
Give me the Ruby. It's over here.
Man, the taste. Oh, God damn.
it's
He did it on
worthless
purpose.
now.
He just wants to give you the Achievement Hunter one.
Give me the Achievement
No,
Hunter
God
one.
damn it.
Are these clean? I'll put my beer in here.
It's still good.
I'll drink my beer
still
out of a
good.
straw. Oh, it smells gross. I'm kidding. It
Doesn't
smells
smell like
fine.
piss.
They're clean. I'm being told in my ear that they're clean. I'll drink my next beer out of this.
When you get something from the store, do you always wash it like a lot?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. I'm a fucking nut about it. I have to.
Got a little Ruby cup, huh? You're not showing. You're giving me the Rooster Teeth one.
You said you said you wash it also. You don't strike me as the kind of person who would be like careful about that or want to wash it.
No, I'm weird in that regard. Like if I drop something on the floor, I don't give a shit. But if it's like been exposed to people, then I'm weird about it. Like I always think about that about the mini bar in a hotel. It's like there's people alone in the room with that mini bar food, you know, for several days. Like many people checking in and out. And I just
think people are.
No, I'm just saying it's like you just don't know. You know what I mean? You just don't know. You don't know what's going on in that hotel room when you're not there.
The last time I was in Vegas,
It's a weird thing if you think about it.
Is it?
It is a little bit. It's a little bit weird.
The last time I was in Vegas, I checked into my room and there were 2 fridges. There's like the mini bar fridge and there was another fridge where you could put your own stuff. And I had a bottle of water that I had from the play. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to put this in the mini fridge and it'll be cold and I'll drink it later. I opened up the mini fridge and it was filled with Reese's peanut butter cups, Cheerios,
Fucking score.
and soda. I think it was Pepsi. I was like, did they not clean this place out? Like, do they not clean the fridge out?
Cheerios.
They left it for you.
Yeah, Cheerios were in the fridge. I was like, what kind of weirdos were in this room before me?
You know something I can't do that I see people doing? I could never eat candy and drink soda at the same time. That's like, it's just too much.
You're just not trying hard enough.
No, it's too much. It's too much.
Did you have a bad experience?
No, it's just like
Mentos and Coke?
It's a lot of sugar.
I feel like if you're eating candy, then it like throws off the taste of the soda. Like the soda just tastes weird because you're already eating something that's super sweet.
I get that.
Yeah, it doesn't taste right.
Just don't do either.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I do, Gus. It drives me crazy. When I buy anything new, and I wish this would stop, and I'm proud to say does not exist on this product, and I'll make sure, I'm going to go and see if we're doing this with these things. I fucking hate stickers on stuff now. They put stickers on everything. And it seems like everybody uses the cheapest possible sticker they can get. They'll make a nice product, and then they'll get the half-a-cent sticker and jam it on there. So when you peel it, the paper comes off, and the fucking glue circle stays right there. And then if, God forbid, you put it in the fucking dishwasher before you get the sticker off of it, because then it's there for life.
Don't you think there are more important things in life to worry about?
No, it's infuriating.
I fucking hate that.
Stickers are, I hate stickers. I can't tell you how much I hate stickers.
Right. But also, you could do this. Oh.
Nope, I can't do it. I don't think
No, because then when you touch it, when your sense of touch interacts with it and it's different, fuck no.
I don't like it when I get games and it's covering up the pretty box art. I really like box art. I like owning games. It's like my library of games I can look at, and then they got nasty GameStop stickers.
Waste of time.
People, by the way, are very mad on Twitter right now.
I don't like it.
I stopped reading. They're mad on Twitter arguing about the census thing. But somebody put the argument more concisely than I was able to, which was like that we're all confusing sense with sensation, and we think that's what it is. Like sensations are not senses. That your sense of touch gives you a sensation of gravity and a sensation of temperature, but those are not innate senses themselves. That's it. And then people are saying you're arguing with science. People have studied this for years, and my argument is a sense is not a finite, concrete thing. It is an abstract concept that we define things as senses.
It's all in the brain.
Well, I can say, okay, I have a sense of hair. Like I know that I have hair, so I have a sense of hair. It's an abstract. You're setting boundaries for something where there's no concrete evidence for it. It's like we made up the thing called a sense. We didn't make up a thing called a sphere. We identified there were things in the universe called spheres, and we studied them. A sense is not a.
There's electricity in your hand that's doing your brain up, and that's.
It's like this. It's like this.
So when I have sense of finger, is what I'm saying. A sense itself, to define something as a sense, is the category that this is a sense and this is not. That is the abstract part. I'm not saying the sense of touch is abstract. You have a sense of touch. I'm saying calling it a sense, and that this is a sense and this is not a sense, you know? Like sense of walking, you know? Sense of movement, sense of balance. It's like, you can just name every sensation you have and call it a sense. That's a slippery slope.
Look, in the movies, the Avengers are made up of Tony Stark, Captain America, the Hulk, and a few other people. But, you know, in some comic books, there's an extended universe. Sometimes that includes Spider-Man, Wolverine. I think we're just arguing semantics here, guys.
Yeah, it is semantics.
Interesting outlook.
For God forbid we argue semantics on the Rooster Teeth podcast. Yeah. Miles. I was thinking about that. They had infinite, what's it called? The Infinite Crisis. So in the DC universe of comics, there's the Infinite Crisis, which is basically the DC multiverse, where all the different shit happens, and then basically it allows them to kill people and nothing matters.
Right.
And so are we at that point with comics now where it's just like Joker can kill Batman, Batman can kill Joker, and then they all come back the next week and it's like totally fine?
This is the moment I knew I could not get into the world of comic book reading, when I walked into a comic book store and I saw Superman versus Alien. As an alien from like Predator versus Alien,
Like a Geiger
Ridley
alien.
Scott, like aliens.
With
I
the
like how
alien,
you go straight to as an alien from Predator versus Alien.
Well, like
They had work before
I
that.
know
you know.
that, but what I'm
They
saying,
have a very storied
I know
career.
that,
You
but
look
like
at the IMDb, that's like way down on the list.
what I'm saying is, there's too many. Fuck you. There's too. I don't know why I went with that. There's so many alternate universes, and like you said, like this character's dead, but not in this universe, so it's okay.
Right.
It's too
Alien-
much. I can't deal with it. A person's death doesn't mean anything until like the next
It's just
volume.
these are storylines that have been running for 50, 60 years at this point.
It's
If the
a
alien
lot.
from Alien bleeds on Superman, does it melt him?
No, because he's got that radioactive bullshit from the sun.
What if he's not in the sun, though? What if he's on the alien planet?
Well, you
know,
got to read the
there it
book to
is.
find out. They have Batman versus aliens too.
Get him. Get him, Soups. Don't fucking take that. The crazy thing is like, I could actually have a justification for that, because if, like, was it Jor-El is his father who's programming the thing to go to Earth? That'd be a tough calculation. What if he fucking missed Earth and he went to the alien planet and landed there instead?
As a baby.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
And the aliens raise him. He starts
Mama,
whooping on
Dada.
him.
I'm just gone. That's the end of the Superman story.
That's the shortest comic book ever. It's like 2 pages. It's like,
And then all the other ones are blank.
that took a turn.
I pay money to own that comic book.
I do
though.
love, too, that, like-
I display that shit proudly.
I like that those aliens are called aliens.
No, they're
You know what I mean?
xenomorphs.
Like, they're like...
No, that doesn't say Superman Xenomorphs. That says Superman Alien.
Alien.
Because Aliens is like
but it
the
has the
franchise,
aliens
it's the
logo.
branding.
It doesn't even say versus. It doesn't say and. It
It's
says
just Superman Aliens.
Oh yeah.
What if?
And really,
holy
when you boil it down, isn't that comic Alien versus Aliens, basically? Because Superman's an alien.
What if Superman? What if the Kryptonians weren't like humanoid at all? What if they looked like a xenomorph?
What
and
if
it was
that's
sent? It was sent to Earth to save
What
us.
if that's the twist? The alien is really Superman, and Superman is the alien.
fucking up their world?
Yeah, it's like the alien has to come and save us from
It'd be
Superman.
pretty funny
God.
if that was Jor-El.
So like, you know how the aliens give birth by like they implant the egg into your stomach and then they chest burst out and
Classic.
then they grow. Yeah, it's great.
Great.
If that happened to Superman, like if Superman got a face hugger on him, would that alien just be trapped inside of him until it starved because it wasn't strong enough to break out? And then he just gets really bad indigestion, and then that's the end of that's the other way that story could
He
have
wakes
gone.
up after eating at Smith and Walensky and like lays down on the tile of the bathroom floor for a bit.
He gets in the tub, turns on the water, just lays there.
Roll credits.
Speaking of those alien eggs, Griffin just carved one out of wood.
saw
You see
that.
that?
That was
It's
incredible.
crazy.
It's not in your stomach either. It's in your chest.
Well,
I don't
goes
know.
down-
I'm sure it says exactly what it
It goes
is.
down your throat, doesn't it? And then
It
bursts out your
goes.
chest.
Yeah, no,
I
it goes down, so
think it goes
probably-
in your chest cavity, though. I think is where it goes.
Well, it travels through your throat, so your throat leads to.
It's
your
like in the
stomach.
movie, it like bursts out of the chest area.
No, it does burst out of the chest, but it's like when Sigourney Weaver, spoiler, had one in her, they showed it like wrapped around her heart and stuff, wasn't it? I mean,
Oh no shit!
but it wouldn't make sense because when you don't get, you're able to walk around, like you can walk around not knowing you have one in you.
Yeah,
And it seems like if you had a puncture in
you've
your
got a few hours.
Yeah.
or I think it varies depending on whichever. Fucking
They also
movie
made
you're
it so
watching.
the face hugger couldn't be removed without injuring the
Yeah, it tightens around your neck.
tube.
of all the things in like alien movies or anything like that, I would least want to experience that moment of a face hugger grabbing my face, shoving its appendage down my throat, and
I would gag.
That would be pretty
Gavin.
rough. That would be pretty rough.
There's no way I wouldn't throw up all over that little face hugger.
Who designed that? Like somebody had to sit down and like think of that.
There was some post on Reddit about the guy that did a lot of the art on Aliens.
Was it Geiger? Did he
Yeah,
design
Geiger.
it?
I don't remember. I just remember the post was about how fucking creeped out the cast
how
was
do
by
they-
him.
The
How do
writer
those
was
things-
Ed O'Bannon. It was either Ed O'Bannon or Dan O'Bannon, the brothers.
I watched it just the other
One of
week.
them died, didn't they?
But
Geiger did the alien design, I
He
believe.
did the character design. I don't know if he did like the mechanics of like the gestation period and the life cycle of the
So
xenomorph.
how do those aliens exist if there's no other creatures?
What do you mean?
Because they need to
true,
lay eggs
'cause they're
down
parasitic.
someone.
Well, that's
Or
that
if a
can-
creature doesn't have a mouth.
Well, that's the thing. They wipe out everything. So they take over the population. They use whatever it is, and they go into like this dormant stage, which is how they get found in the first Alien.
You're essentially asking what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Yeah. Didn't they do that in Prometheus? That was the origin of the
that movie was
xenomorphs?
terrible.
It was
Well,
pretty.
that-
not
There's
great.
there you
parasitic animals on Earth that can't live without other animals. They just develop that way. Oops. Sorry, Siri.
Yes, Siri, please find that. Yeah, I think in Prometheus, it was just like finding them and reactivating them from a dormant state.
There was like a black
Look at my
goo.
search that just came up.
Whoops, sorry, Siri.
Whoops, sorry, Siri.
You know, my favorite thing to do is when you open up your not my favorite, but you open up your browser on your phone, and it's essentially just hey, by the way, this is what you were looking at last.
Oh yeah,
it's suddenly a time warp back to whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, time warp.
My favorite was like I used my phone for something, months go by, and then I'm like, oh, let me open up my Safari app, and it was a picture of a pug wearing a Batman mask, and I was suddenly transported back to this place of happiness and remembering the conversation I was having. I don't remember it now.
On iOS 7, it does keep a lot of old tabs.
Yeah.
It goes really far back.
Did you see that video someone released where they tried to make the Windows Phone Cortana talk to Siri?
That was a spoof video. That was Arsenio.
spoof?
Arsenio Hall did that video.
Okay.
He definitely did a spoof one. There might be another one you're talking about. Go ahead.
Someone tries to talk and send a text message, and he makes them try to talk to each other.
They just get stuck in a loop.
Where they get,
this one was obviously a parody. Cortana had a big attitude and stuff.
Oh no, this was trying to make them talk to each other and have a conversation.
Remember Talking Carl, the app?
Oh yeah.
Where you talk to it and repeat what you said. People put two of those together and just said they started the chain and they started going, "Hey Carl, what's up? Hey Carl, what's up? Hey Carl, what's up?" And then after three back and forth, it was like.
There's just the generation loss in that compression.
It was horrifying.
One of the best prank calls I ever saw was it was a radio station in San Antonio that they called one Chinese food restaurant and then put them on hold and then called another Chinese food restaurant and then had them talk to each other.
They're trying to take the order for each other?
Yeah, it was like, hey, you call Chinese restaurant, how can I help you? No, you call no. I'm not doing a racist accent. This is what they fucking sounded like. It's not racist. That's what it fucking sounded like.
It's racist when you do it.
No, bring it on, internet. That's what they fucking sounded like.
I'm retreating a Tumblr for safety.
Damn. But it was they just ended up yelling at each other and were arguing over who called who. It was one of the funniest things I ever heard.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys! I'm not going to be the Metallica of this podcast.
I spilled my beer to save you, Miles.
Oh, you gapped it.
Thank God we're leaving this place. You can fucking trash it.
This is our last. Yeah,
this carpet's got to go.
I'm so happy to be done with this place.
Let me read this.
Maybe Miles can find a poor immigrant to take it. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. Only if he does an impression first. Speaking of which.
Now I want to read. No, I don't.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by.
So we're up for a Webby.
We are up for a Webby.
Just like Squarespace, our sponsor.
The Grimsturm.
Yeah, the Grimsturm. We're up for Gauntlet Season 2. We're up for a Webby. And you can actually vote for this one. If you're listening to the podcast, you can go to, I think it's pv.webbies.org. Yeah, the Webbies, though. And you can go vote in the People's Voice Award. We're in the reality category for Gauntlet Season 2. And doing fairly well, but you should still go vote.
Yes.
Because we need all the votes we
have learned from the past.
This is not a joke. I even had to say to jinx us because in the past, when we've been up for Webbies, they do this weird thing where they have the results up and then they take it dark for the last 24 hours. And then somehow our 60% of the votes that we're getting and everyone else has 10 to 15% of the votes. Somehow it goes dark for 24 hours and we don't win.
That sounds shady.
It's happened a couple times. Yeah. We were actually, they had way less categories when we first started. We were up for best comedy site in 2004, and we were up against The Onion. And there's two categories. There's the ones that the Webby committee selects, and there's ones that the public selects. And we were and The Onion at that point, since 92, had a streak where they'd won every single one of them. Yeah. And people were starting to print articles oh, is this weird show site gonna break the Onion streak? Went dark, came up, nope, we lost.
Yeah, we were way ahead.
We were way ahead. Here it is at the People's Voice Awards. That's fancy. You vote for My Little Pony.
Hand of God.
And look, we're right there on the front. Online film and video reality.
I think he's in the category.
Which one is
I
God?
I realized that as I was saying it.
I think he was helping us out.
Oops.
So we would appreciate your vote if you liked Gauntlet Season 2. And if you don't vote for anybody else. That's all we ask.
That's all we ask.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're out of here. This is the last.
I'm so excited to be out of that tiny, crappy little room.
The new place is looking badass. Dude.
We're gonna
cannot wait.
A legitimate, awesome studio to film this podcast in and to stream it.
To do everything.
Really looking forward to it. We've had to really retrofit and try to make this space work for what we do in here.
Yeah.
And the new space is designed from the ground up to support the things we do.
Do you know this is our 5th location?
Spare bedroom, Buda, Congress.
Here.
Wow. Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, so I've seen
to.
people in the community saying oh, I can't believe they're moving to their 3rd office. It's
nope, number 5.
Nope.
Continue not to believe that.
Yeah, we've been around for a while.
Yeah.
I just like everyone's weird nostalgia about it. Oh, last week in in the room.
It's a
So
little weird.
I'm just gonna walk out, shrug, and never look back.
That's
I'm
what you
excited.
do with everything, though. You shrug off everything. It's just the brain anyway.
Yeah, it's just the brain. Why dwell on it?
Yeah. It's weird that, like, one of the first times I met most of the people here was at it was for a school. I was interviewing you for a school thing, and you were like, I was like, hey, can I just have 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Burns? I'm like, oh, we just got a new office. We're going to do a barbecue on Friday. Coming out. And I interviewed you, and then I immediately went to Carrie because he was the closest person to my age.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah, I was like, this skinny punk kid probably hates me, but close enough.
Skinny. How long ago was that?
Been kind there. So next Monday, the next episode of the RT podcast will be up there, not here.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So it's gonna be a tight
move in.
Yeah,
so we're supposed to be
might be influx.
moving in on Monday.
Right.
Hopefully, we're set up and in position to do it.
Pretty much everybody's crossing their fingers and just hoping that the
Yeah, we
atoms will
got
have
this,
everything
dude.
working.
The guy who's got the toughest job is Adam.
Yep.
For wiring everything. That'll be the toughest deal. But we'll get it all figured out. We always get it figured out, man.
He looked like he wanted to do himself in earlier today.
Yeah, dude works hard, man. He takes everything super, super seriously. If something doesn't work exactly as expected, like every time and he's dealing with this whole Heartbleed thing. He's working on that. You talked a little bit about Heartbleed before. Have you talked specifically about our site and everything?
Yeah, I said we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we were patched before. It hit the mainstream news, like when it was still just a technical paper.
Right.
We were already, patched up and taken care
Yeah,
of.
those things are serious. I saw even today on Reddit they were saying, yeah, you should reset your Reddit password, which means not only should you reset your Reddit password, you should reset all your passwords that are the same as your Reddit one.
Yeah,
Damn it. Gavin got his finger out of the bottle before I could call him out on it.
And the problem is some sites haven't patched themselves to the point where you can reset your password where they're still vulnerable.
Oh, really?
Or it's like you have to check them and make sure that they've taken care of the problem so you can update your password there.
Otherwise, you're just giving them your new password.
Right. Otherwise, you're just changing it. I've switched over to a password management utility to help me make unique passwords for every website.
Well, surely they just need one password and then they've got all your passwords.
Right. But then you just have to make a unique super secure password for that.
Shouldn't you want all of your passwords to be super secure?
Right. But you can make them all super secure with this utility.
Dude,
What's up with those Safari suggested passwords? Have you had that?
I don't use Safari.
Where you'll type a username and then Safari will just suggest a load of gobbledygook. But the fact that that's generated by the browser is worrying to me.
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So, could that...
It's also like never give a website access to my camera or my camera roll. Never.
But surely somewhere in Safari is just a list of every possible combination of password. So surely someone could take
It's
that
probably
list.
just generated randomly.
Yeah, but surely someone could take its parameters for generating that and just apply it to your account.
You can say that about any secure thing. Surely someone can just apply a code and decrypt your encrypted.
Yeah, but I'm sure the Safari table of passwords is smaller than the
It's
world.
not a table. I don't think you store it.
It's generated
It's just an
randomly.
algorithm that generates a password on the fly.
But you
You're
can make a table.
You're saying you can take the same algorithm.
You want to make a fucking table. Hey, by the way, I want to say this thermos is double insulated.
Usually the way that a random function works on a computer is that it does a call to the time and then does some kind of algorithm based on the time. So the time is the random number. And not just like it's 12 o'clock, but how many hundredths of a second in the day is it? And that's how it generates its random number.
So there's, in Unix, all of time starts from a single point. And the way it measures time is how many seconds is it from that one point back in the 60s.
So
it's just like a really long string of seconds, or really long string of numbers. It's just essentially the number of seconds since August 31st, 1970.
Why don't we all switch to that time?
Because it's just a fucking huge
time zones
you know what? I've always thought about time zones and stuff. The way we have it now, it works. We just need to get rid of daylight savings time, which is so stupid.
Well, that's because of the war, isn't it?
What's that war, buddy? What war are you talking about?
World War II.
Time wars?
Because
Dude, Doctor Who?
they were wasting. There was coal issues, wasn't there?
Right.
So,
people were waking up and the sun was already up, and people were staying up after the sun had gone down. So there's wastage of coal.
And so they would switch the hours to just...
Well, it was in the old times where to save candles they would do it, but nobody really did it until the war.
Here's what I've always thought about that time shift that happens. It's really... I'm in Texas, we don't have the variance in the days that they do in other parts of the country and the world because we're a little bit more towards the equator.
Yeah.
A little bit. But I always got the feeling in the winter it would get... Or let's go to summer. In the summer, it would get dark at, say, 9 o'clock at night, and it would get light again. The sun would come up at about 6 a.m. in the summer. But then I always got the feeling that they just went in like this. It was just, it would get dark at 6
from both ends.
Yeah, and not that it would shift. Like, does it shift like this? Because what does shifting the clock by an hour help? Doesn't that window of daylight just get shorter evenly, or does it like rotate across the clock? Do you get what I'm saying there?
The day does get shorter as a whole, but then they can move they can move the window where you want it.
I think,
right, but why not just set the window to the most optimal one and then just leave it there? Why would one be more optimal in the summer?
Sunrise changes depending on the time of year.
I get that sunrise changes, but also sunset changes in the same way. Doesn't it shrink the day?
Right.
Or does the day like shift? Because that's what's going on with daylight savings time.
Right. Well, they move the start of the day earlier. Because I think that's ultimately what it boils down to. Is they don't care about the end of the day. They care about the start of the day.
Sure.
So they move the start earlier since there's daylight earlier.
What I'm saying is if you set that point in the winter, that's the low point of daylight. So why not just leave it there for the summer too?
Because then it's like, then it's dawn at like 4 a.m. And then like at 5:30 in the morning, it's just fucking bright as shit. And you're like, I gotta get up now.
The actual difference between the length of a day in the UK is really, it's like a huge difference.
And yeah, in Texas it's not. I don't have much perspective
in the middle of winter, you get about 8 hours of daylight.
Yeah.
And on the like 21st of June or whatever, you get almost, it's like 16, 17 hours of daylight. What? It's crazy.
Yeah. Because they're so far north. Yeah. They're so far north.
You want to change to Unix time? Unix time started January 1st, 1970. Right now,
is that why when you have a corrupt file, that's always the date on it?
Right now, it is 1,397,526,893.
So will I ever
that changes every fucking second. That's why we don't use this time.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be tough to tell people.
I already forgot the number.
Plus, do you really I say in Austin, it's like, too, I love Austin a lot. I love the attitude of Austin, but one of the places where it bleeds into that it just kind of drives me crazy long term is that if like you were going to go in your hoodie and your jeans and your, what do you call those? Trainers? What do you call those? I call them sneakers.
Shoes.
So there you go, shoes. And we're going to go, yeah, but shoes are a real thing and those are fucking child.
What's your sense of shoe?
Shoes.
He's got rubber soles on them. Like they're sneakers. You're wearing sneakers. Like Miles, you're wearing the same kind of shoe that Miles is to me.
Do you want to hear something interesting?
Go ahead.
About Converse?
Go ahead.
Right? So Converse, if you buy a new pair, you'll notice that around the edge is all fuzz. It's like tiny little hairs. And the middle is grip. And that's because if you have a shoe with over 50% fuzz, it can be classed as a slipper. And you pay way less import tax on slippers than you do on sneakers.
I learned an interesting thing about that too, where someone was telling me that human-based toys pay a higher tariff than do just regular other toys. Like if you have
like a doll?
Like a doll has a higher tariff than a stuffed dog.
There's a lot of weird loopholes that you can abuse to get like, I think it goes from like 35% extra tax to about 3% if it's a slipper. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the person was telling me that as a result, X-Men toys don't have the tariff because they're mutants. And somebody realized they can classify them as mutants and not humans.
Wow.
And that they pay way less tariff on X-Men toys.
You know, I read, or I probably heard
this. It's totally secondhand story, by the way. I know the person who told it to me. I don't call them out because they don't work at Rooster Teeth.
I heard this on NPR, but I was listening to a story about importing vehicles into Turkey. And it's like these trucks, I think they're called Sprinters, that are manufactured in Europe, get exported and brought into Turkey. But if you bring in 51% of a vehicle, you pay the vehicle tax on it. So what they do is they make this whole vehicle on the assembly line. Then when they're done, they cut it directly in half and make 250% of the vehicle, ship it across the border. Then when they get it, they have another factory that just puts them back together.
Wow.
That's
that way they can get around the vehicle
awesome. How much did that cost to set up though?
But it's like they could save a ton of money.
Over time, I guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love loopholes like that. It's so interesting to me.
It's just like that 1%. It's like the fact that they can find specifically where 50% of the vehicle is.
Well, it's the same with if you cut money in half, like cash, you have to have 50% for them to replace it.
I think you have to have 51%.
51%.
Yeah.
So if it goes directly in half, you've just ruined it, I think.
I like the idea of like they get taxed on one of them or whatever. It's like, well, what's the problem with this one? Front had fuzzy dice in it. A little more percent on that one. Sorry, buddy.
So is there a machine that analyzes cash to see how much percent is in the money?
I don't think so.
Like, how do they judge it? Well, it's about 51%.
So is this like your scheme? You're going to start cutting money directly in half and then like trying to redeem both sides?
So like if you were to give somebody like roughly half of $1, they'd take it. They'd be like,
maybe they weigh it.
Maybe.
Well, they'll probably pick up a lot of gunk.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the weight of $1 would be after like a year.
That's disgusting.
We should do a test.
God.
We should weigh a fresh, crisp dollar and then Wear it again in a year.
I read a crazy fact that there's some like Walt Disney owned amphitheater where the cushions in the chairs are calibrated to be the same absorption for sound as a human body, so that the absorption of the stadium is the same whether it's filled or empty.
To help rehearsing.
That's fucking
musicians.
brilliant, dude.
That's kind of pessimistic.
No, so because they rehearse an empty.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
rehearse an empty amphitheater.
That's very clever.
I think it's very clever.
Yeah.
That's very clever. It's better than hauling a bunch of dead bodies for rehearsal. That would be way worse. That'd be a lot harder. But you were talking about security. I was with somebody this weekend, and I'm not going to say who because I don't want to compromise anybody else's security stuff. But we were obviously, we know a lot of web development people or video game development people. A lot of people work on servers. A lot of people work at consoles everywhere across the board. I was with somebody this weekend at one point, and they were like, "Oh," on their phone. And I was like, "What?" And they said, "I just typoed my password on my phone." And he put it down. Everybody else at the table was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Just type it again." It's like, "No, I typoed my password. So now I have to go through this like quintuple verification process that if they make one mistake on like logging in to their email or the server, they have to go through this long ass process to recover their own account, basically."
Wow.
And he knew it was going to take him like 30 minutes to do it because he typed
That's
it.
awful.
Oh,
You know what that fucking reminds me of, Gus? Something that happened a few months ago.
It was like 2 weeks
Oh
ago.
my! It was not. No, this was months ago.
It was a month ago.
This was multiple months ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was because it was long ago because we hadn't started production on RVB 12 yet. Oh my fucking god! I just remembered this.
So, whenever this happened, like a month ago.
2 months ago.
Like a month ago.
Several months ago.
A month ago, Emily calls me over and she says, "I just got this weird email. Can you take a look at it?" And I look, and it's like a Microsoft account verification email. And she says, I guess I have this account and someone recovered the password." And I looked, and it was like one of our shared, email accounts. It's like,
Sure was.
that's really weird. Someone was able to log in and they added a phone number to your account.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that phone number. Do you know that phone number? No, I don't know it.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let's call it and let's see if we recognize who picks it up. So I pick up the desk phone, and I instead of calling off of line 1, I call off of line 3, which is not our main number. And I call it, and I hear hello. I'm like, wrong number. And I hang up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is. We gotta report this.
So you were judging the voice based on hello.
Yeah.
Well, earlier that morning, I'd come in to start working on RVB, and we have to do this thing where every now and then Halo 4 will kind of forget that we downloaded some maps. So we need to connect it to Xbox Live to say, hey, don't worry, we do have these maps. Please give them to us. We have shit to do. The only problem with that is whenever we connect to Xbox Live, it says, hey, would you like to sign in with your password? And we say, sure, Xbox, I would love to sign in with that password. And we type it in and it goes, great, thanks for that password. Hey, would you like to add a phone number to help make things more secure? If you say no, it says, cool, fuck you, and you don't get to do anything. But if you say yes and says, okay, great, we're going to text you a 4-digit code.
Yep,
just pop that in. Do it, send it in. Great, thanks so much. We've sent you a confirmation email. If you could please respond to that email so we know that you're the one that had this phone, that'd be great. You go to your email. Thanks, I see that you put in the phone number. To make sure that this email is secure, though, we're going to send you a second email, and it goes on. I'm not making this up. It's like a 10-part process to sign into Xbox Live and then do this other shit. And we have a lot of characters in RVB at this point in time, so you have to do it a lot.
Do you have like a spreadsheet with all the information?
I have several spreadsheets, Gavin. Whoever set up the original red versus blue accounts.
I had a sense that the all of a sudden sound was directed at me there. What is that?
Whoever set up the original RVB counts for like Caboose and Griff and a few of those characters, they didn't just use like an email address for that character. They used like the store email address.
I just used whatever the fuck we had available.
Or the administrative email address.
That's all I did.
And because of that, I don't know the passwords to all that stuff. I'll try and enter it, and it'll say, hey, this password's wrong, but we can text you something, blah, 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 blah. And I tried doing that, and it didn't work, and I was like, fuck. And that day, we decided to just make new profiles and accounts and all this shit, and God bless the Adams for helping. But then later that day, we get an email from Adam saying, like, hey, guys, remember, don't use this password because it's been compromised. Just today, we had somebody try and hack into something using that old password. Stop using it. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. All of the old RVB accounts use that password. I got to change the password in all these. So now I get Adam to help me, like, changing passwords. We're getting emails and text messages and calling people and fucking changing all this shit. And at one point in the middle of all of it, I'm sitting next to Adam Ellis, and I go, "Hey, Adam, what kind of breach did we have today?" And he goes, somebody tried to get into a Microsoft account password. I go, "Was it the admin Microsoft account?" "Yeah, why?" "I'm the hacker." I'm the hacker. I'm the one that hacked. And earlier that day, I know, I turned around and go, "I'm the hacker." "What?" "I am the hacker. Look," and I point to my email, and I have the email. It's like, "Hey, that password doesn't work." And he goes, No, we called somebody today. And that's when I remembered I was standing in the fucking break room, waiting to go to the bathroom. I get a call, and I go, "I don't know this number. Hello? Oh, wrong number." Hang up. And as soon as I hang up the phone, I go, I should start answering random numbers as, "Hey, this is Miles."
What I love is that you were in the break room. We're literally like 15 feet away from each other. We're on the phone. There's no walls between us. We're having a conversation and we don't hear each other.
I was like, Adam goes, "Oh my God." We like ran into each other. I was like, "It was you. You're the man on the phone."
Colossal waste of time.
It was such a fucking waste
of time.
Oh my fucking God.
And by the way, every season we say we're going to rectify that and get all that stuff straightened out. Never fucking do it.
I fucking did it this time.
And whoever replaces you won't be able to find the fucking list.
It'll be 12 seasons.
It's always existed, but then when you need the list, you can't fucking find the list.
Season 11, we got fucking controller holders. Season 12, I'm bringing in the lists. I got this.
It took me 8 seasons to get the stickers on them.
They'll change security policy, after that as well. So it's not going to be useful in 2 years anyway.
You know what pissed me off though about the Microsoft security thing when we were trying to come up with new passwords?
Yeah.
I put in a new password and it goes, "That's way too many characters."
I fucking hate that.
I cannot believe that. That's like, that's pretty secure. I don't know about that, Miles.
And then after all of this, there was that story, I think we talked about it in the patch last week, where that 5-year-old kid in San Diego fucking figured out that if you enter a wrong password and then you just enter a bunch of spaces, it lets you in anyway.
I turned to Kyle, I'm like, I wish we had that fucking kid working here.
Kids are awesome. Kids like that are awesome. I love it. Did you ever accidentally set up, here's Miles' vacation with Brad Pitt?
Oh, dude, I remember that day. Look, I didn't get my tan yet in that picture. I'm so white.
Somebody called
God,
it.
I was skinny though.
Hold on, let me call it. Somebody sent me that on Twitter.
I was going to say, that's really fucking
He's got the dumbest fucking Twitter handle in the world. I'll just retweet it. His name is Jeff Footsie. And that's my... her name. Sorry,
Angelina's the one that took
Jess.
that picture. She was great.
How did you afford that trip, Miles?
Well, I got a few businesses on the side, and let's not talk about it. I own a car wash.
The IRS is now going to have a serious discussion with you.
Oh, great.
Her name is BBBBBBB Knowledge on Twitter. I'll just retweet
block
her.
the IRS on Twitter and you'll be good.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna friend them, favorite, retweet everything. I want on their good
when I was
side.
listening to that story, that's one of the things they said at the end was like, you could always try a charm offensive. They only have 22,000 likes on Facebook and 50,000 Twitter followers. Good luck with that.
Oh my God.
Who is on Facebook is like, yeah, I like the IRS.
The IRS.
I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do that right
How many
now.
people work for the IRS?
All right, well, we're at about time. We should wrap things up here. Yeah. So
last
thanks
one.
everyone for watching.
I'm checking to see if there's anything else,
we'll
any
see
other
you all
updates.
from a new location next week, but hopefully with the exact same set. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.